Chronicles TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another episode of the Ace Attorney Chronicles. In the previous episode, we just began a fine morning, all happy and depressed. Today's episode right now, we go to a pawn shop. Whoa. What's going on here? If you like today's episode, make sure to like, push the channel because I don't know why we're here. The Windibank Pawnbrokery. Here we go. Pinocchio? Windibank Pawnbrokery. April 15th. So this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before. Ah, Susato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you can enjoy a place like this. Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me. My dear fellows, and let us not forget why we are here. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. And clearly, Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of fury in his eyes. Mr. Sholmes, what can I... Welcome back. Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yes, we are potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruto, and it's time to inform Mr. Windibank of our eerie. Come, the fight is afoot. Sir. Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yes? The second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windibank. The color of the wood is different, and it has holes in it. It's not even the same size. A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes. I'm so sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There's only one way to make amends. Money? Why is he running? Yo! I shall have to take my own life. Oh my god. I don't think that will be necessary, do you? Why did he just run off just like that? Why did he even bother making an animation like that? Oh my gosh. If I may, just one thing before I pop off. Ah, yes? It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe. Sorry? As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, ah, here it is. You did? And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the viola's left, sir. You gonna laugh now, or what? However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at your own door by allowing you to leave. Well, what made you go all the way to get the gun and point it at your head? So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me. No, stop, my dear fella. That fault is mine. He's packing, I'm telling you. He's packing. Oh. It would appear the fight is over. I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windibank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition now, would you? Aha, I do believe you may be right, sir. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I need to remind you of the peculiar collection of items you brought through my door in the past. Oh, peculiar items? And the extreme, ma'am, for example. The unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes, or such. Oh my, a new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I've yet to read, you mean?
Oh, forgive me.
Do not do that. Wait, before you die, you must tell me more. Susato? What are you encouraging here? I must know more. Tell me everything. Wow, Susato-san is really fired up now. Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof?
Well, one day the gentleman here brought an old metal chest, you see? I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Windibank. For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir, for a farthing more.
It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one of Mr. Sherlock Sholmes.
I beg your pardon? A manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript?
Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here.
And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of unworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom.
Mr. Sholmes, is that really true?
Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this?
I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely.
Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you, on my life.
Put that down, sir. That is very strange.
Put it down, sir. It's not that serious. I wonder, could I ask you something? Gentleman from the east, I say? Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull.
Sorry?
Aha, but for your splendid attire, ma'am, 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic, Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say.
Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting. Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here?
Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you described. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure storage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned.
Well, what happens if they don't pay you the money?
It's sold off. And the items I offer for sale in my shop. As you can see, the shelves behind me.
And it's been 2 months, hasn't it? So you never sell items before the 2 months have passed, then?
That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all.
The very idea of Mr. Windibank is absurdity.
One should never talk of one's demise so casually, says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning. It'd be like that sometimes. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs. Oh, what's our measures? I engineer a simple device which Mr. Windibank has installed here in his shop. I call it the red-handed recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Windibank?
What was that deep sigh about?
What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are 2 just below the ceiling.
I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device.
I don't see it. Very astute. It is indeed a camera furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop. Here, I have an example I can show you.
Ordained science!
Yes, print from the camera set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive, it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness. Really? That's extraordinary.
Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it looks.
So you see, were someone to enter premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed. For every 30 minutes.
But did you not say that photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals?
Indeed, as you say, my dear madam.
Then what if the incident were to occur in between times?
One could say that would be a cruel twist of fate. I must confess, your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late. I beg your pardon, Mr. Windibank. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of film, sir. You most graciously placed not one but 2 cameras in my shop after all. Which means I must pay for nigh of 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of film will break me before I'm very much older. Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no? My dear fellows, we verge on the age where safety and security come at a price. Oh, heaven help us! Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin. Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Windibank. Perhaps this might mark the end of my peculiar ice you try to pop, Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer. Oh my god.
I really think you ought to stop waving that gum around. Someone could get hurt.
Fear not.
Sorry?
I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed. Russian roulette.
That's not what I meant.
Good day to you then, Mr. Windibank. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last.
Oh.
She meant about like looking around this area. Look at the enormous ledger open on the counter there.
Mr. Windibank is, very particular about recording the items he accepts.
He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself into all sorts of trouble.
Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far more the ledger. The gun?
This revolver here.
Do not entertain even a single thought of fulfilling an article herein, my dear fellow. I assure you, Mr. Windibank could not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speed believing the portly size.
Oh, you don't mean he'd...
Blow his brains out? Indeed, in recompense for his blunder.
Oh my. But in any case, of course we would never do such a thing. How could you ever even suggest it?
Okay, what else to look?
What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine.
Those are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker.
What does that really mean, though?
When you pawn or collectively pop an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the items for an agreed period of time after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale at a price of his choosing.
Oh yes, now you explain it. It's noticing little price tags on it, everything.
Of course, simply by pawning the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn the black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasure university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit. Pinocchio! What the heck is this?
Now, what do you think this is? It seems to have 2 little windows for looking through.
Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope.
A fascinating.
It is an aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself.
Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me for a moment while I just have a look.
Just before you do, there's something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically, as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, if this is beyond you, it is of little consequence today.
Alright then, I'm going to try it. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo, you must see! At once!
Oh, alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed like I'm trying to look at my own nose. Isn't that the maid? What the? I don't believe it. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Was this made for the 3DS 3D feature or what? They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them.
Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic?
It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day.
Oh.
Wasn't that the maid, though, is the question. Yeah, I seriously don't see the thing myself. The gloves of gold, is that some sort of charm? Dear me, have you not seen the sign before?
No, never.
The 3 golden balls are in Great Britain at least, the universal sign of Pawnbrokery. There are more than 700 such establishments in the capital, all showing the same sign.
Oh, I see.
Ah, I had not imagined your ignorance was so profound.
Oh, well, what is the significance of the 3 golden balls then? Does it have some special meaning?
That is entirely unimportant here, dear madam. Irrelevant, even.
You mean you don't know?
That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April, today's date. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It is an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Windibank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period has passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep close eye on the date. It's something on a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say.
Oh, yes, I could see you very dedicated yourself to your job.
Cacti. What the hell is down the bottom?
Look at this. Whatever could this be for?
I have no idea.
Ah. There's a small catch just here, look.
We're going to open it, aren't we?
Oh my, that's amazing. It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism.
Which will never manage to pull back the way it was before. Huh? What are you two doing?
What? Us? Nothing? No, nothing at all.
Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through everything. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. There seems to be a little door hidden behind that curtain there. That leads to the storage room, where Mr. Windibank keeps articles that are currently pawned.
Ah, I see.
There's nothing of particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any larcenous activity. Recommend it or not, it's not something I intend to do. There is but one key, and Mr. Windibank keeps it in his pockets all times. Before he sleeps, he places it in a small pot, which he slides it under his pillow. How on earth do you know about that, Mr. Sholmes? I am a detective, sir. It is my business to know what others do not. I am frequently assailed by information I neither care nor for wish to retain.
Mr. Sholmes, you are a wonder.
And the prime suspect of the pawnbrokery is ever burgled. You know, we're just killing time for whatever reason, because we're overstaying our welcome for whatsoever. But I'm just here looking around. Trumpet. Alright, let's get the heck out of here. Baker Street. Let's get the heck out of here. The Sholmes Suite. Okay, apparently we're missing something. Okay, apparently we're missing something. No. Back to Baker Street. Look at all the different things in the window of the shop.
Ah, that's Windibank's, the pawnbrokery.
It looks much smarter than a pawnbroker's pen, doesn't it?
Yes, you're right. I find pawnshop at home rather approachable, personally. It reminds me of tearfully parting with my favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mr. Naruhodo.
And this is our house.
It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here above Mr. Shone's office.
I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this.
Oh, I know. To actually be sharing a combination with the world's greatest detective. If I ever find myself before a court of law now, I will have not one regret.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm happy to defend you, of course. So, what exactly are we gonna look for? Cause I got nothing, Chief. Back to the pawnbrokery. Is there something that we're missing? We already talked to this guy. Anything else?
Look at this! What could this lovely big shiny box be?
That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have seen such things in your own country.
Oh my, yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before.
Shall we listen a while? Is it the thing next to the Big Ben?
Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like a music of angels. I never heard anything like it before in my life.
This particular specimen is of the larger variety commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There's a metal disc inside of which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music that you care to imagine can be played.
My goodness, what a simple, delightful machine.
Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course.
Science technology advanced at such an overwhelming pace.
What? Only tuppence for it? That ain't fair, you know it. The article is very... What is going on? Sounds like there's an argument brewing over the counter. Come on, that can be right. Are you even... What is going on? You! Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her.
Oh yes, it's the young lady from Mr. McGill's trial 2 months ago.
Lestrade. Are we ever gonna figure out whatever happened that night? Are we ever gonna figure out what happened?
Gordon Bennett, you lot! Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well.
Oh my gosh, she's packing again!
Oh, what? You remember me then, do ya?
Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure.
So, what are you doing here? Down and out like the rest of us? Nothing to eat? Come to pop the black weasel? Sorry, coat, have ya?
What is it about the black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Ah, good day, unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher.
Ah, Mr. Sholmes.
So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article and I shall negotiate with Mr. Windibank on your behalf.
Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get out of my business. Go on, I'll make you trouble for you.
I should just give it a Brooklyn voice. As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence.
He's really done it. He's gone.
I'm sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here.
What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc? And you, go on, leave me alone. Oh, Miss Lestrade, let's just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest.
Susato can really stand her ground when she wants to.
Whatever.
Somehow, I didn't really think you were that sort of person who used a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade.
Yeah, well, I am, alright. I'm a Londoner just like everyone else. That a problem, is it?
No, not at all. It's just that, well...
Oh, again, I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got it on the vine, didn't she? Yeah, I could see it written all over your Chevy Chase.
Well, I might be thinking something along those lines.
You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo.
Alright then, I'm just gonna come out and ask you straight. Do you have pawn things that you steal from other people?
Well, I don't know, but boss did not answer that, really,
I don't know why I stuttered.
Suppose sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade. But not this time, alright? I swear, that thing belongs to me.
But this that Mr. Windibank is holding? Perhaps we should see what he has to say all of this.
Mr. Windibank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps in its surface.
Oh, this is a music disc, you see? For use inside a music box. In a music box?
What? You don't even know what a music box is? Tisk, you Eastern Lord ain't too savvy, eh?
I know what a music box is. I've just never seen one of those discs before. A small protrudes on the metal disc encodes a tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going, and beautiful music plays.
It's so incredible. Tell us what tune is on the disc.
Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music boxes, you see. British made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc is made of.
Ah, I see.
And that is a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for any item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny.
That's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was. Well,
Who?
who? Never you mind, and it just ain't right. That's all. The disc worth's good money. I know it is.
Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker, won't you? Alright then. She's been in before, but of course, this little tattered damned and brought some dubious articles on the other with every single time, I might add.
Dubious? What are you trying to say?
Oh, so is there anything dubious about the disc she brought? Well, if only it were that simple. Sorry?
What do you mean?
What she actually brought in was a storage ticket.
Storage ticket? So, Miss Lestrade has actually come to redeem an article from you today, that's right? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff won't need storing.
Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight, but as she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and interest, I was obliged to return the article for her.
But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windibank.
The little scab is wearing it, ma'am. The coat? It's the overcoat she redeemed.
Oh. What? What's wrong with that? It fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So what about the disc then? How does that come all into this?
Oh, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn, if the girl and I agree to a price. Hey, yo, no, go back, chief. Go back. That's not what I meant. They automatically do it anyways. Go back. Go back, I said. God damn it. How many times do I have to fast forward this? Get to the point, Chief. I'm confused. I thought you said that Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today. It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you say. For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her care, as I understood it. That's right, yes, and rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets. Oh, you mean... What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? Ah, I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it? If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am. And she immediately tried to pawn it? For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think. Give it up. I'm just trying to pawn something like everyone else would. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me. It doesn't really appear to be your size. Me, old man. It's me, old man, ain't it? Me, old man? Is it, Miss Lestrade? Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious. Out of my way, please. Who is this picture postcard English gentleman? Why do you have to say it like that? He's more refined than the other freaking male 3D models. What the heck? Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Wrong voice. What's your problem, eh? There is no problem as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with the proprietor. And if you attempt to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve. Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. If you think you such a gent, you should know out of the way online. Well, you are an impudent little brat, are you? As well as a pickpocket. Who are you? How do you know who I am? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What? You mean from you? Troca. Oh, yes, sir. I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes. The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. And needless to say, any music box disc too. No, you can't have it. You just can't. It's me old man's, or it was. Now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation. Yes, I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. Miss Lestrade, is what the gentleman is saying... What you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. I swear on my life, before... I ain't never laid eyes on that dandy. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. Ragamuffin? You stole it, didn't you? That ticket you brought in here just now? No, I swear to God. It was wrong voice. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street minding my own business when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself, those wretched pickpockets. Yet again? Oh yes, as you can see, I am a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these black-backed slum scoundrels. Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Come along now, Miss Lestrade. Give the good gentleman his coat back. If you're going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police.
Hold on, why does everyone think it's me? Just look at this dandy cove and you think I'm the dodgy one?
I'm sorry, but no one's going to believe you. I'm gonna do the deduction.
Well, what about evidence? Yeah, he did say a disc, didn't he? Where's your evidence that I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it.
Oh, I have evidence naturally.
You what?
Evidence? Evidence that article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to the gentleman?
Of course! We need only consult Mr. Windibank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place.
Yes, brilliant. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Oh?
I never ask customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine.
But why not?
Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymous.
Yes, I see. But then how can you know if the article belongs to the person asking to redeem it?
Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question? Of course, it's Professor. Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need, this gentleman is the rightful owner of the article, without doubt. A watchword? Interesting. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windibank. As I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit the items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers would like to keep their activities sacred. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it?
Great detectives have no dark secrets, none at all.
Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept new articles. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, a description, and watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. If that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article? That's right, sir. Yes, just as soon as I requisite fee is paid. And I have supplied you with the information you require already, but for the avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat, deposited 2 months ago on 15th February. With a watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir.
But, ow!
Really, this is beyond a joke now. There is no further room for doubt. Just give it up. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry, yes, we're from Empire Japan. We're studying here. Oh, yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. Inhabitants live of some fiery brown-colored soup dressed up with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. What was that theatrical gesture about? Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own first name first, before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really.
My name is Hisato Mikotoba. I am Mr. Naruhodo's assistant.
I see. My name is Benedict. Yes, Eggert Benedict. Benedict Eggs Benedict. Eggs Benedict. Enchanté. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is suspicious. Now to the matter at hand. My overcoat. Return it at once to someone with the style to carry off.
Every move makes him, every breathing takes. I can't stand watching him.
Wasn't it white? So, let that be an end to that matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Eggert Benedict, sir.
With such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back. This is why I hate grown-ups. Just cause I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a liar.
And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker. Oh, of course, sir. Here's the disc for you.
Just this one?
Pardon, sir?
I was expecting another, that is, I deposited another disc.
Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir. That was what deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in another one pocket, but I was completely unaware of it until now.
So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you? Says who, eh? I don't know nothing about it.
Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell, say goodbye to style.
Wait a minute, that disc is mine.
Yo!
What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Oh my, yes, there's blood on the disc.
It's because all those sharp little bumps.
The man must have scratched his finger on them. Oh, he's mad now. I found it first, alright? I mean, it belonged to me, old man. So you're not having it. Oi, you take it.
Me?
If they hang it onto it, they'll have it off me again. So you keep hold of it. Miss Lestrade,
Why is this so important to her?
with blood. You there, in the black livery. Hand the disc to me at once, please. No, don't. He's lying. Grown-ups are all liars. What do I do now?
How am I going to resolve this?
Help! Mr. Sholmes, what are you examining with such keen interest there? Are you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see? Mr. Sholmes? So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? After that young picket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows. Cruelly ostracized as the rest of you part look in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to accompany my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had to down to me. So, feigning mock interest, I pretend to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whereas, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, the 7% solution of caramel. Pray do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? How could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Then why on earth did you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you? Poor Mr. Sholmes. I feel simply awful for you. It would seem that my inferences are correct. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again. My dear madam, sometimes I wonder where my genius for deduction to become whatever. How much could I pawn it off for? It seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of the flashes of inspiration, but who knows if it will help to resolve the situation between Miss Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? We'll hold it off right here. Next episode, we're going to get to the deduction. Like and subscribe, Chronicles 16, and I'm signing out.